Okay. I don't know how laggy it's going to be today, and to be honest, I'm not very pumped to find out. I'm hmm I'm just going to do some tests. I want everyone, if there's anyone in the chat, I want them to confirm for me. Number one test, I just want to know if I'm audible right now. Is my voice clear? Can you people hear it? That's the first thing I want to check. Yes? Alright, awesome. Next thing I want to check is I'm gonna play one of the entries. I want you to confirm that you can see it in full quality. Can everyone confirm that that entry was visible? Don't worry, it was silent. There was no sound effects in it. Awesome. Okay. If it's visible, then I'm gonna wait till 11, because that's when we're starting, as I said. And then I'll make an announcement in the server, and we can begin. Until then, I'll repeat just for everyone here. I don't know how many people are watching this, but just to be safe, I'll repeat it. We are going in alphabetical order. We'll be starting with the entries with special characters, so numbers, underscores. Then we'll be moving to the letters, so we'll be going in A, B, C, D order all the way to Z. So our first entry will be by Sammy, because he has an underscore at the start of his username. And then our last entry will be by 0 Point, because he has a Z. Alright. Sorry again, everyone, for the stream last night being all iffy. Our Wi-Fi is really bad ever since we moved into a new house. So, you know how it is. I'm going to go through all the entries we were reviewing last time again, because I know a lot of you people couldn't see them in the previous stream, and a lot of my comments on them probably got chopped up by the Wi-Fi and stuff. There might be a little more background noise now, though, because it's daytime, and that means stuff is happening outside and inside. More than at nighttime, at least, which is the time I usually stream. Don't worry, for the actual premiere of the, of the collab, I'm gonna be uploading the video beforehand and setting it to instant premiere so that I don't have to worry about my Wi-Fi when it does premiere. It'll already be secured on the YouTube server. Tell you what, since I never set a time in the first place, I'm gonna start in just 5 minutes. And then I'll be ready to go. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna confirm. I don't know how many people are watching again, so I'm just gonna read out these entries and then I'm going to look in the chat and I'm gonna see if there's anyone who submitted an entry but doesn't hear their name. We got an entry from Sammy, an entry from One Who Likes 21, an entry from Atsfips, one entry by Board Animation, one entry by Chesscapt, 2 entries by Cyanmation, 3 entries by DJ Dehik, 1 entry by Doppelgogo, 2 entries by Eon Super Vincent, 2 entries by Fox with Hat, 1 entry by Henry, 1 entry by JC Boy, 1 entry by Kai Brando, 2 entries by Casey, 1 entry by Kenza Anims, 1 entry by KFJTH, 1 entry by Maz Pies, 1 entry by Polly Sparker, 1 entry by PPNWG, 1 entry by ResCoker17, 1 entry by Rests Animations, 1 entry by Sharpspear, 3 entries by That Sabi, 1 entry by Vaguely Visual, 1 entry by Waddle Duck, 1 entry by World Z Productions, and 1 entry by 0 Point, making for a total of 35 entries to review today. Everyone please confirm that these are all the entries that have been received. I don't see any objections in the chat, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. And I'm going to, I don't know, yeah, I'm gonna start now. Review starting now. Join in. Okay. Just a moment, guys. I'll give everyone some time to join. I'm gonna just close the doors. Okay. I believe now everyone's ready. We'll begin soon. Alright, here we go. Okay. First entry is by Sammy. I already commented on this yesterday, so I'll just play it for you guys. But my comments are the same as before. You can listen to the full detail I said yesterday, but mainly I like that it's animated straightforwardly. They walk in and out of screen as the rules guide. It follows all the rules. There's a reference to the Frisbee collab in the background, which I think is cute. The watermark is non-obtrusive. And they added a little glow to make the scene slightly more interesting and distinguished, even though it was so bland before. It's not anything spectacular, but it's definitely a well-done entry, and I'm inclined to accept it just because it isn't so chaotic. So this is accepted. Next, we have an entry from One Who Likes 2-1. So, in this entry I also reviewed yesterday. I'll let it play. But I like this entry's use of sound design to elevate the experience that was already animated really well, and I like that it uses the limited number of frames really efficiently. No frame is wasted, which I think is very appreciable in a low frame per second animation like this, and it shows a mastery which otherwise is not usually seen in simple stick fights, even with advanced animators sometimes. An understanding of what's important to convey and what isn't. Showing how that barrel is empty using the sounds without visually indicating it in any way is a very smart way to use sound effects to your advantage and not just as a way to complete the animation, so to speak. I like it a lot and it's accepted. You can listen to my full commentary in the previous reaction. Okay. Checking the comments. Oh, hi AX. Yeah, it's going good. Okay. We have an entry from @Svips. I think yesterday this is when the stream started to get buggy, so let me know if you get any bugs after this. Once again, as I did with all the other previous entries, you can review them and what I said about them yesterday on the previous stream. I just like the colors, the landscape, the idle animations which make the scene more alive. That's all I'll really say. The rest you can see on the previous stream. I'm getting through these first 10 out the way quickly since we've already done them. I want to give time to the other entries too. Next up, board animation. This one is a Terraria reference, and it uses game-accurate sounds for the pot smashing and the teleportation and the attacks and the damage noises, and game-accurate animations as well. And I really like it, and I have a lot of nostalgia for Terraria as well. So overall, it's just a game. It's just an entry I really like because it's a game I really like that it's being referenced. Next up, we have an entry by Chesscapped. This one is humorous. I might keep it as an intermission. You can watch it now. I don't have much comment to add on this. I think it's funny, albeit mediocrely animated, and I think the dialogue is a good amount. It's not too much, it's not too little. The fonts don't feel so excessive and over the top, and I like it. It references, I don't know if this is intentional, but it's a reference to one of the previous stairs parts that I got in the collab, the second time I hosted this collab. And I think it's pretty funny that it coincidentally lines up with that really well. Hi nickname. Bye nickname. I just saw the chat. Anyways, I'm accepting it, but it won't have any major spot in the collab. It'll just be a small intermission. Next up, we have 2 entries from Cyanmation. Okay. Okay. This one's quite long, about a minute and 3 seconds. A minute and 4 seconds. Anyway, it's very nice. It uses some nice sounds and characteristics. I will have to turn down the sound on that explosion though, because it was very loud and it might cause some pain in the hearing. I did leave a comment in the previous stream about this slide thing, but I think it's a better experience to just go rewatch it yourself as it was. And this one is accepted. The next entry by Cyanmation was a joke entry that he submitted in the last few, I think it was hours or minutes of the collab. And so I don't know if I will accept it or not. It's noticeably lower effort than the rest of Cyanmation's entries, so I'm inclined to decline, especially since Cyanmation already has 4 entries in the collab, and I think 4 is more than enough. Okay, next up we'll be moving to DJ Deheek's entries. There's 3 of these. I won't glaze them again, I've already said a lot, but I will appreciate them for what they have. Use of VCam and side-scrolling entry. It shows how you don't need complex camera angles to make an interesting entry, and it shows how you can make something feel alive and motile while still sticking to the format of the collab. It reminds me a lot in essence of the side-scroller entries used in Doors, and I really appreciate that because those are one of my favorite kinds of like little individual animations, stick figure animations. And I'd love to see more of it. I appreciate the parkour and the no need for actual action and fighting to make an interesting animation. And this one is accepted. The next entry DJ made is also accepted. Once again, it has really nice motions, and I appreciate that. I don't really understand what's happening, but it's animated really well, and it's really fun to watch. And so I'm gonna accept it, but I might not make it to the final cut if I can't find a place for it. It's low priority. Next up, we have DJ Heek's final entry. This one is really cute. It's pixel animated, and I really like it. Also, for anyone wondering, no, I'm not going to get rid of the flip-a-clip watermarks because 1, I cannot be bothered, and 2, I think it's unfair to not allow someone to participate because of a watermark that they had no choice to put in or not, and that they would need to pay to get rid of. So, in the spirit of accessibility, in the spirit of making sure that everyone is able to participate, watermarks are not a problem for this collab. There are many entries with stick notes or flip-a-clip watermarks. However, this is a good time for me to comment that there are many free programs you can use which do not involve watermarks and have the same ability, have the same accessibility and same features of drawing and animation as flip-a-clip or stick notes. So I encourage that if you do like those programs, then you move to the alternatives which don't have watermarks. Even on mobile, there are some good alternatives. I used to think mobile was a medium which was unusable for animation. I'm realizing now that's probably incorrect. And so you should look into different apps and applications which you can use without watermarks behind paywalls. Okay, that was DJ's entry. Accepted. Next, this entry from Doppelgogo, which I remember as being a reference to the Pixar logo. Both the audio used and the visuals themselves are reference to the Pixar opening animation, where normally the lamp crushes the eye in the Pixar title card, and the background is this shade of blue. But this time they did it with the eye crushing the lamp. I am a little bothered they could not find a cleaner picture of the lamp, the Pixar lamp. There's all these pixelated edges, but it's okay. I'll accept this. Okay, these next two entries are by Eon Super Vincent. I have a few problems with these entries, but I'll play the entries for you just so we can discuss them more clearly. Okay, I think, okay, if it wasn't obvious already, I don't think this is a great entry, but let me explain my problem with it. Number one, and I think the biggest problem with it, is the background and the animation quality itself, obviously. So firstly, the background isn't theirs, evidently. And I also just have a weird suspicion, I don't know if this is true, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know the source of this background, but it looks like it's AI generated. There's these bridges that extend from walls that don't make sense and then just connect to nothing, and there's this architecture which doesn't really follow any flow or logic that I can understand, and there's lighting that confuses me at times, and the quality is very low, and yet the colors blend very well, which is typically a feature of AI, though human images can do that too, so I won't call it out for that just yet. But also there are perspectives which don't match, and there are these overlaps in perspective which you wouldn't think to do as someone creating the image, which leads me to believe that the background image is either AI or something they picked out of Google Images without checking the source. But I might be wrong about that. Another problem is sound design. There's very little sound effects work, and whenever it does come in, it feels almost PowerPointy, with how the sound effect just plays, and then it just stops. It becomes silent again. Another problem I have is how they enter into the screen by falling in, because once again, the connecting part of this collab is that you have to have the character walk into the screen. I had a long ramble about this in the previous stream. Okay, so anyways, the next thing that bothers me is that oh, okay, I just read the stream comments. It's from Demon Slayer. Well, I don't know anything about many animes, so unfortunately I don't know about that. I apologize for assuming it's AI. But another thing that bothers me is I know it's stick notes. I can tell because of the rendering and the style. And I don't think any of the effects used are actually Eon's effects, because I have seen these same effects used in so many stick figure animations. I like that the stairs appear like a reward after beating the enemies, and I would have almost been fine. Like, this fight is animated quite well, and it would have almost been fine with him just walking up the stairs. But then they bring in this character, and they try to do all this lore, which I don't get at all, and I don't think most of the viewers of the stream will get it as it's coming in. I don't like how the watermark is obtrusive and makes it so it gets in the way of the stick figure, and it gets in the way of the dialogue in these other parts. I also hate how the dialogue changes font so many times so inconsistently, and I don't have any indication for why. You can't even read some of the words that have been said. It looks like it was composed without planning. And for some reason, in the middle of animating, there's just this thing that appears for 2 frames, and we don't know what it is. There's like a blue thing here, and then it's over here, and we never get an explanation of what it is. It looks like a Gacha Life character's head. I'm not sure. I don't like this stencil font specifically. It's very characteristic of stick notes, but that's my own personal peeve. I won't hold it against them. I do hate that he screams, "I'm free," despite having no indication of having ever been trapped before. He gets out of each floor, and I think you as participants should be aware of that, and I believe most of you are aware of that. Once again, this explosion isn't even animated, it just appears, grows, and then fades out, and I don't like that. It's not great animation quality, basically, and this stick is way too detailed for something which is not important to the collab at all. These people need to remember that their entry is only on for, in this case, 25 seconds out of a 45-minute collab. Anyway, I've rambled long enough about this entry. I'm going to say rejected and move to the next one. Also by Eon Super Vincent. Okay. This one I have a few comments on, which I'll explain in a bit.
Hey, see there! You got a contract I need, debtor. Sorry, Rambo, I still need it. Ah, yes. Now head over on contract. Ah, please, sit down. Down, please. Come on.
Okay, so it's a Cuphead reference, and I like Cuphead, don't get me wrong. And I like that they made the stairs match the textures of the garden background. This is from the root pack fight in I think it's from the root pack fight from Cuphead. I have a few problems with this entry. Number one is it's so dialogue heavy. You do not need this much dialogue. There's going to be background music, and it's a collab. People are watching for the animation. If majority of the content is dialogue, then it's not very it's not very interesting, it's not very fun. And again, the effects that aren't theirs, I've seen these in pretty much every stick notes animation before. The Cuphead animations are also not theirs. These are animations from the Cuphead game, and while I appreciate the accuracy to the game, I also don't appreciate how that means that there was essentially no effort to the animations of the Cuphead themselves, and that the stick also has very low effort in their animation. The background also mostly isn't there, so the stairs being the only original piece in the background. I do not like that there is voice acting in this collab for one character and not the other, and I also don't like in general that there is voice acting for any of the characters in this collab, because we're doing an animation collab with background music in the background, and I don't like that I don't think people understand the format. I'm hoping that maybe it'll be more clear the next time I host such a collab, but that's if I even do. Okay. That's about all I have to say about this one. Oh, another thing. He walks in and then he does this teleport thing, which I am just so bothered by. Where like he animates him walking in and just like, I don't know, it's so trying to be more important than it actually is with all the dialogue and all the weird gimmicks. And it's just very upsetting that you don't need to do all this. But I talked to Eon Super Vincent a lot in the server while he was working on this entry in the hopes that he would change it to fit the requirements, but he didn't, and so unfortunately I'm going to have to reject it. Okay, so next up we have two entries from Fox with Hat. I've seen these, and while their animation quality is a bit low, I do like these entries quite a lot. So in this one, it's not immediately obvious, but you can see the shadows of the stairs that he slowly tries to walk up and then he falls off. And then, what I love is that they use the snow as a way to... and they do a little Minecraft reference too. And it's cute. I do think the snowman is a bit unnecessary. They could have just done the gimmick with the snow. And I think the weird football snowball kick thing was excessive. But I love the concept of using the snow or sand or dust to reveal these invisible stairs. It's really clever. It's a cute idea that I'm surprised hasn't been done before by anyone else. So, that being said, this is an accepted entry. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna pause real quick here and ask anyone who has any comments or questions, you can say in the chat right now. None? No questions? Okay, well then, we're gonna be moving to the next one, which is again by Fox with Hat. Okay, I don't know if Fox with Hat is watching this, and so I'll say right now, I loved this opening so much. It was so cool to see you fully animating the entrance of every single one of these unique looking stick figures as they walked in on screen. It was genuinely really awesome to see, and I was excited for whatever else you had planned. I think you took the worst possible direction after this, though. I love the idea of the comedy of him pulling out the sword, but then dropping and running like a coward. But what I hate is that you didn't even animate him. You animated all these sick entrances and you couldn't even animate an exit. So I'm gonna say, if you're watching the stream, I will let this entry pass so long as you reanimate the ending, because I love this opening and it would be a shame not to get to use it. But it does make it really hard to accept when it's not even on the original camera position when it ends. And then, like, this happens, and it's like, come on. I know that it would be so much more interesting, or funny, I guess, to have them, like, drop the sword and actually run, rather than using, like, this really slapsticky humor where they just like hit a pose and then like motion tween up the stairs with poorly spelled text. It feels like a very ingenuine humor without much actual thought behind it. And so I just want to see this actually animated ending sequence without a camera motion or this weird redding effect. Or if you don't want to keep the comedy, you can also do action, whichever one works for you, but I just don't like this ending. Okay. So it's rejected, but I do want to accept the opening because of how good it is. Next entry is from Henry. Now Henry already has 2 other entries in this collab. And I love his action animation and sounds. And I really want to accept this entry, but it does feel low effort in that you could have drawn the casino background with like slot machines and then like a chandelier up here or something to make it feel more like a casino. But you didn't, you just wrote the words casino and had them go in a rainbow color. And it's like, I can understand sometimes you want to make sure it's obvious. Like, this is the casino. Yes, don't be confused. It's the casino. Look, I'm gonna write casino. Look, in capital letters, casino. Jingle, jingle. I said casino. Look, rainbow letters. But like, what I mean is like, look, I get it. You don't want them to miss the fact that it's a casino. But you can easily have told someone they're gambling by the giant chips and coin piles and the presumably drunk green guy, and you could have put like lottery tickets or fucking like a stand or like machines in the background, slot machines or something, like a chandelier, or I don't know, or like a big card in the background. So I might just go into the flash file you gave me and add the background in myself. But if I'm not feeling that inventive or dedicated, I am gonna otherwise be rejecting the baseline version of this entry. I do love the animation though, and I love your other 2 parts that you've accepted, so don't feel too bad about this one not making the cut. It's still a cute animation, and I still love your other entries. Okay. Next up, we have an entry from Jay-Z Boy. The big man himself. Okay. This is once again a Terraria reference. These are all game sounds, which I appreciate a lot. And these are all game mechanics, and the whole scene is rendered to look like a non-pixelated version of the original game, which is very impressive and very appreciated. I love that they used the 2D style of the original game to make this like, to match with the 2-dimensional format of the collab. I love how they use the format of the houses you build in-game as a floor of the scene. I think that's really clever, and I really love that idea a lot. So I'm gonna be keeping it. I'm gonna be accepting this entry, and I think this is a good spot to learn how to do video game references well. You have to maintain clarity in what's going on at every step. He walks in with an axe and cuts the trees, gives time for all the wood to appear on screen so you know what's going on. As it's falling, he uses the same material to build the house to show an indication for why he just did the previous step of cutting the trees. Then he makes the whole scene in a way that even if you didn't know the game, it's obvious that it's some video game reference because of the format where all the items are identical and there's these objects being placed and broken in a video game style and everything is tile shaped. And point is, all of this is just designed to be clear even if you don't know the game Terraria. The scene in the background is easy to read, and this is essentially what I love so much about this entry, is that even if I didn't know what Terraria was, even if I didn't love the game Terraria, I still would get the joke, and I would like it a lot because we all know what video games are. And if you don't know what a video game is, then you're from the 19th century and you aren't belonging in my Stairs collab. Anyways, okay. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. Accepted. Next up we have an entry from Kai Brando. Okay. Okay. Look. The entry has pretty much nothing in it, man. Even the sounds are repetitive. So, I might just not accept it. Sorry. I don't have much commentary to give. There's just not much going on in this entry. Okay. We have 2 entries from KCKC. I love this entry so much. Amazing sound design, amazing use of the side-scroller format, great vibes, all the sounds gave me goosebumps, that part where he shrieked and ran off. Incredible. It's mostly grayscale, but that makes it so much more impactful when there's like the brown boards over the door, as if it's important that's boarded up. It gives this creepy aesthetic, like they're hiding from something. And then you hear like the rumbles in the background, and then you see it rush in, and it's like running through bullets, and it's like smashing through walls, and it feels very threatening, and it's very cool. It's also just animated really well. I love that you can easily keep track of each stick figure and where they went. I love that our stick figure chooses to be clever and hide, rather than try to fight a beast that it knows it cannot fight. I just love this entry overall a lot. Accepted. Okay. Next up, we have an entry from KCKC again, but this one's a bit different. I remember seeing this one and watching it with my friends. It's very impressive. Shit. It's very impressive. I love the sounds in Casey's entries, they're so good. I love also the puzzle game format. It's so nice, it's very nostalgic, and this is exactly the type of entry I love seeing in these side-scroller collabs. Because at the end of the day, people keep putting in angles, I think they keep forgetting that this is a side-scroller collab. And I love the sense of weight and motion. Everything feels so good. I love this entry. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but it never tries to do too much, which is a very appreciable part of what makes it so good. Sorry about all the voice cracks and yawns, I'm really tired. Okay, accepted. Next up, we have an entry from Kenza again. I'm gonna... I swear to God, I'm gonna throw up. Okay. Kenza has made so many entries for this collab. And they're all so good. Ugh. I do hate bugs though. So I will say that... it is gross. The vibes are so strong. Oh, the way they use the sensor bar is so bad. Oh, that's so evil. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so gross. I love that so much. Kenza just animate a movie. Damn. It's really good. It's really good. Genuinely creeped out vibes. Oh, I love the background, the sound effects, the horror element, the tension that you could feel the entire time, the distrust and the way even at the end he doesn't trust him a bit, but he decides to listen and keep going. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's accepted. I don't know if it's a movie reference. Anyways, next up we have an entry by KFJTH. I can't believe they submitted. Okay, I love this entry. They submitted last minute in DMs. Okay. With the gas cylinder that you have to they grab and they bust it open and they start flying. That's so cool. It reminds me of that choice from Henry Stickmin when you are playing infiltrating the airship. There's a shot where the correct choice is to choose the high-tech armor suit while you're on a propeller, but then there's three other choices. One is a Koopa shell, one is an umbrella, and one is a propane tank. This reminds me of the propane tank choice. Sorry, I just realized how stupid it is. I just explained the entire like sequence as though like anyone who did know Henry Stickmin wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, I really like this. Accepted. Next up, we have an entry from Maz. Maz 8 Pies. The sound in this entry is really nice, and the concept is really cute too with the mirror. Mirror collab reference. I also love how you can see that the name is also mirrored. I think that's really clever that the watermark, the name is also mirrored. Ah, that's a little detail I didn't notice before, but I just noticed it. That's really nice. Okay, that's accepted. Okay. I'm clearing my voice. 1 second. My throat is so wide. Sorry, this is a side tangent. That it goes down to this deep masculine pitch whenever I'm like not straining it, which is annoying because I hate how this voice sounds a lot. Okay, we're back. Alright. Polly Sparker. Next entry is by Polly Sparker. Here we go. God. It's so good. Polly Sparker in general is just amazing with combat animations. I want more from him. It's so fun to watch. Polly Sparker reminds me of Stone a lot. Like, you know Stone? The big guy himself? Yeah. He reminds me of Stone with his animations, especially his action animations and the slime thing. It's so good. I want more. I always want more from Polly Sparker. It's never enough. It's so good. It's always just so good. Also, the clouds have parallax. I just noticed. Look, the clouds have parallax. The closer clouds move faster than the further ones. That's so sick. Okay. Yeah, in general, I love Polly Sparker's entries. Okay, accepted. I don't have many comments. The background is really nice. I just want to mention that. Sound effects are really good. Yeah. I don't know if this is a game reference or not, but I really like it. Okay, accepted. Okay. Um, Next entry is by Pp.2. I love this entry. I saw it. It's the one with the cats, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. I love this entry so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a bunch of little details I want to point out when we're done. It's really good. It's really good. I love that you can see the photos of the blue stick and their house with all the other cats and this little minifigure of the blue stick figure, and how this cat sleeping over here also appears in a photo over here. I think that's really cute, playing with yarn. I love how they animated all the cats to be matching the stick figure style. Instead of making like fully detailed cats, they made all the cats also silhouettes, just like how the stick figure is a silhouette, to match the style. And the background is lineless too. And it's really cute and it's textured really well. And I love it a lot. I love the mild but not super intense perspective going on with the floor. It's really nice, and I really appreciate just the aesthetic and art style they chose a lot. Everything feels so whimsical in this entry, and I don't know, it's very refreshing to see an entry which isn't about action and which comedy isn't based on violence. I really like that. Well, it is mildly based on violence, but it's not like in that blunt force violence, and I really like that. And speak of the devil, there's like 6 cats meowing outside my window. Okay, they're stray cats. Anyways, accepted. Shut up. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Can you guys hear that? There's a cat. Wait for it. Wait for it. Just a second. You heard it. You heard it, right? You heard it, right? Okay, okay. Um, Anyways, next entry is from ResCooker17. Now I previewed this entry on the server and I liked it, but it has one main problem, is that they don't enter properly. It's like they threw them in on this side of the screen just to say that they entered from the correct side, but then put the stairs on the right side of the screen, which goes against the format, and that really annoys me. And the rest of the animation is nice, but it's just okay. I do hate that while everything's moving, the background doesn't move at all. It's kind of confusing and hard to read in that, so I might not accept it. I also think that the watermark is a bit weird because it isn't transparent, so I might just put in low priority. Okay, next up we have an entry from Resnimations. Listen, they had it so good up to here. Like, this is gonna sound really stupid, but I would have preferred if after he crashed, he just got up and walked up the stairs. What is with all these black cuts? I can tell you're just avoiding animating the scene. It's really frustrating, because, like, that's like 50% of the entry's runtime. It essentially ends at 20 seconds and then goes on for an additional 20 seconds. And that bothers me a lot. You could have just put your logo in the corner and then been done with it instead of doing this whole sequence, which was so unnecessary and confusing. And I really like this opening. It was really good. You could just end it here with him crashing, then getting up, and then going up the stairs. So I want to say accept it, but you're gonna have to redo this entry ending if you want to accept it. And with how little time is left in the collab, aka no time, I might as well just reject it. Next up, we have an entry from Sharp Spear. Oh, what? What the? Did they just. What? Okay, no, they do go up the stairs. Okay, good. So, my problem with this entry is number one, blank background. Obviously, a big, like, red flag. But on top of that, they established this whole mechanic with really good character acting. That, like, the ground is hot, the floor is hot. They put their feet against the stair and it turns red. And then it becomes really hot and they jump back from the pain on their foot. And I love how they introduced it. And I love how you try to do each step one at a time. First the second step, then the third step, and then he couldn't do it. But what I hate is that he doesn't overcome this problem in any clever way. He just runs really fast up the stairs, and it's like, that's the lamest way you could have done it. Like, you establish this whole problem where the stairs are too hot to step on, and then instead of having the stair stick figure cleverly solve it, you just have him run up the stairs really quickly. Like, you establish this whole thing where the stairs are way too hot for him to walk up, and then instead of actually solving that problem, having the character run off screen, grab something like a freezer to cool down the room, he just runs up the fucking stairs. Like, what was the point of introducing all that mechanic if you were just gonna have him run up the stairs? It's already a blank background. There's nothing interesting to the entry visually. If you're not gonna add something interesting conceptually, then there's nothing to the entry. Sorry if I'm getting really mad. I'm just really tired of these kinds of entries where they have thought put into the first half, but then they flop on the second half. We've had like 6 entries like this in the stream today, where they have a really good opening, but then they're just trash. They flop the ending, and so I can't accept them. So, I'm gonna have to say no. Sorry, I say trash. It's not trash. It's animated really well. I'm just tired and I kind of let that get the better of me. Sorry, Sharpspear. I really don't think your entry was trash. I just wish that you had put more thought into the ending of the entry. It's animated really well for what it's worth, and I wished I could keep that good animation in the collab, but it just doesn't hold up. Next up, we have 3 entries from Sabi. And they're all really good. I've seen them all already, but I'm going to comment on them here, since I reserved my words for the stream. This part is going to connect to Sabi's other parts in order. In the first part, he gets these headphones. In the second part, he enters the screen wearing them. And in the third part, he takes them off, which I think is like this really cute little trilogy. I have the final part already since he made the final part first, then moved the first, then made the second part, but you'll see. I love the background. I love all these boxes. I don't know who this character is, but they're really cute. And I love this like whimsical style with all the like little textures and pink colors and shades. Pink is a very underrated color. I'm glad Sabi uses it a lot. I love the variety in Sabi's color palette. This is a mainly pink entry, but then their next entry is mainly green. Let me show you. I really like all these entries that Sabi submitted. And I love the use of parallax to add depth to this shot. It's really nice. And I love the way he dances little. I love the cameos to the other stick figures, which by the way is a reference to a Stone collab part. All these stick figures appear in a Stone collab part as well, I think. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I like that a lot. I love that he added these little dust effects. It's a small detail, but it adds a lot of life to the scene in post-processing. I like that there's little blurs and occlusion, which give this sense of a camera going in and out of focus as it changes focal length. It's very nice. I love it a lot. And I wish people had paid more attention to these little details that complete an entry like this. I wish I had lingered on the previous entry longer. Hold on, there's some details I didn't address that I really liked about it. I think just conceptually, Sabi's entries are really strong in that they don't try to act more important than they already are. They just take what they have, which is the screen time that they earn by being animated, and then they, he like takes these entries and he like just does what he feels like with them, and he makes sure that it's evident what he wanted to be conveyed through these entries. And that way he gets the most out of the runtime that he is animated. And I don't know, there's just so much to appreciate about these entries. The art direction, the character acting, how every motion is made to feel like so whimsical. This is almost like, it feels like alt aesthetic with like the like paper cutouts and stuff. It's very nice. I like it a lot. So these are both accepted. There's a fifth entry as well, hold on, that Sabi submitted, which is paper cutouts, and I like this one a lot. I can't tell if they used actual photos that are cropped and cut of like the stick figure, but even if they didn't, it's really cute, and the sound effects are so wonderful. And like, the sound effects are a big part of it too. Like, as much as I do have sound design team for all the stairs entries that didn't get sound effects, if you put in sound effects, like this silent is a very like mediocre entry. Like even still it's nice, but it is still mediocre without the sounds, and the effort they put in, the extra mile, with the sounds to clarify the tone of the scene, to give an idea of the vibe and everything, it's very nice, and I like it a lot, and I love that the stairs match that, the background is also a paper texture, the watermark matches it too, it's just everything is designed to match, and I think that's really nice. I love there's little strips of tape you can see covering the ends of the stairs and the corners of the screen. Just these little details that make it feel like it's a complete package and not some incomplete animation where they got tired halfway through and quit, which is what I see with so many different entries in this collab. So I accept this one too. Okay, we have an entry from Vaguely Visual. I love Vaguely Visual. They have such a goofy style with pixel art, and I really like their entries. The way they actually pose in an F shape, that's really funny. I love the timing. I love the over-the-top momentum. It's all just really wonderful. So yeah, I like this a lot. I don't have many comments. It's funny. It's accepted. I'm really tired, guys. Okay. Okay, we have 3 entries left. One is from Waddle Duck, one is from Worldly Productions, one is from 0 Point, and I don't know if any of them are going to be accepted, but we're about to see. Oh no, the Waddle Duck is accepted. I talked to the Waddle Duck in the server about this one. It's already accepted. It's a very nice, simple space entry. It's cute. It takes advantage of its reshaping, fitting into the scene because it's spacey. This is a cute little note they left at the end. I'll leave it on screen for you to read if you want. I've read it already. But I appreciate it. It's very nice. It's very small. It's very sweet. I'll have to cut it here, obviously, because this note can't appear, otherwise we won't be able to transition through the entries. But it's very nice. I like it. That's all I really have to say. The rainbow doesn't blend in very well, but I don't really care since it looks nice. Accepted. Now the last 2 aren't accepted. I'm really tired. I'm gonna give up with the voice for now. The last 2 aren't really accepted. Because, well, okay. World Z Productions. Number 1, your watermark looks kind of funny. But number 2, the stick figure is just so small and it just looks really weird. And I don't know if it'll really transition well with the other entries. And another thing which bothers me is that which bothers me is that, um, it enters from the right side of the screen, which is like, hello, that's number one rule of the collab is enter and exit from top left and top right. Sorry, top left and bottom left. So why are you doing from the right side? But it's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we've done that entry. That's a no. And the 0 point entry, now look, I know who 0 point is. I like their art, but this entry just format speaking doesn't really work. I do not like jump cuts, as I've said many times before, and this weird fade to black and camera motion is just doesn't work, unfortunately. It has a very BFDI vibe, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but it doesn't work, I don't think. Unfortunately, the parallax is a bit confusing too. Like the way the things move in parallax doesn't really make much sense. It looks like a hyperbolic space, which could be a clever thing you could be doing, but here I don't think it is. I do like that the clouds move. I love the colors. I don't want to say that visually it is impressive. I just mean format wise, I can't accept it. It is a visually very cute and nice entry, but in terms of the format, it simply won't fit into the collab. Uh, so I will have to say no. I do love your style, though, 0 point, and I really like this entry. And I want you to know that even if I do reject it, that doesn't mean I don't like it. Sometimes it does, but in this case, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so that is all 35 entries reviewed today. 11 were not accepted, which means that 24 were accepted. Um, I just checked the chat. World Z Productions, I don't know if there's anything I could fix for anything I could suggest for you to fix the entry without you having to re-render and stuff. I just overall am not sure, unfortunately. I'm already quite tired too, so I might not even suggest anything. I'm very sorry. Okay. Now then, I'm going to go and move on to the low priority entries and real quick just explain which ones are and aren't accepted. I will not be watching them, that takes way too much time. I will just be saying their names and explaining why I haven't accepted them in the end. Okay. There is one low priority animation by Day Goodman. It's this one that I think is TF2. I'm gonna put it on screen as I explain actually. So you will be able to watch it, but I'm explaining why I don't like it. Its animation quality itself is quite low, and the background isn't even theirs. But despite it being low priority, I do feel inclined to accept it because it is composed nicely and it doesn't feel super out of place. It is a very short entry though, but because it's so short, that also means it gets to get away with being very simple because they won't be on screen long enough for anyone to notice how unsimple it is. And it's just, it sticks to what it knows it can do. It doesn't do anything crazy. So I'm going to say it's accepted, but it is low priority. Next up, we have from the 5th review stream, there was a low priority entry, which I was at first not sure I wanted to make low priority, but now that I'm here, Waddleduck, you submitted an entry which was really big and like spectacular. It was like 49, 50 seconds long, maybe. It was like this whole big space battle. Yeah, it was a minute long, and I think it was cool, but I on rewatch, I'm realizing that despite how much I thought it was pretty awesome, I don't think I can put an entry of this style into the collab because it relies on too many things that are not collab-esque. As in, it doesn't match the format of the collab I'm going for. It's a very cool animation, for sure. And I don't want to reject it in the sense that I don't want to say it's not good. It's very good. I like it a lot. It just isn't something I think fits in the Stairs collab. And I want to say that you can feel free to upload this wherever you want. I don't care. It's really good. It's really good. It's a really cool entry for sure. And I don't want you to think that I dislike it. But I don't think that it really fits in the collab the way it is. So I'm gonna have to say no. There's too many camera cuts, there's too many weird angles, and it just doesn't feel like it flows back into the collab in any point, especially considering there'll be background music and stuff. Like, this looks like something I'd play a freaking non-copyright sounds track to, if that makes sense. I don't know. I can't bring myself to keep this in the collab, despite the fact that it's very cool. It reminds me a lot of the Box collab, though, I'll say that. Shout out to Box collab if anyone's watched that. It's a classic. Anyways. Um, we have a few low priority entries in this batch. One sec, let me see. Oh, never mind. This batch had none. Okay. I'm gonna move to, I think it was number 3, which had a few. Ah, this one. Waddle Duck. What? Waddle Duck has another. Waddle Duck has another entry I marked low priority. Oh, this one. See, okay, this one I'm only marked low priority because the standards for this collab improved. It does have very little motion and no sounds and stuff, so I'm not sure how inclined I am to keep it. I do want to keep it because it has pretty colors, but I'll have to see if it fits in the collab. Essentially, it's low priority in the sense that I won't reject it. I like it. Plus, Waddle Duck only has like 3 entries that they've submitted. One of which is this, one of which is the one we got today, and one of which is that one I just covered. So it would be kind of mean to reject 2 out of 3 of their entries, especially after accepting said 2 out of 3. But I'm marking this one low priority, just because I don't know where it would fit in the collab. If I find a spot, I'll definitely put it in because it's nice. And it's a little like 11-second clip that can be used as buffer material for a song in the middle as well. So it's just, I can see it having a place, I just don't know what that is yet. So if I can't find a place, I probably won't include it, but if I can, then I will. Okay. What else? Second review stream. There were none marked low this one. Okay. This one I marked low priority, and I'm probably not going to use in the end because it has that syndrome of really good starting, really bad ending. They animate a whole fight here. It's nice, everything. They get lazy at the end, they glitch them out of the screen. Like, come on, man. Come on. I know I covered this back in review stream number 2. I'm surprised people didn't take the hint sooner, but please stop doing this. In the next collab, I'm going to make it a rule that you have to walk up the fucking stairs because I'm really tired of this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So this is unfortunately not going to be used in the collab anymore. Okay. Next up, we had an entry marked low priority in the first review stream. That entry being, there were a few actually. Number 1 is Alan Animates. Alan Animates, back when I started this collab, I accepted you because I liked your collab entry. It was cute and pretty straightforward and had a nice sense of humor. And I almost do still want to accept it. I might even. But if I can't find a spot for it once again, I won't try to make space for it like I will with some other entries. So what I'm trying to say is that I do like it, but I might not keep it. However, now there's some entries which I really don't think I'll keep at all. Where is it? This Day Goodman entry, right here. I might not accept because it's simply so little. It's not even the minimum length requirement, I'm realizing now. And it's not very animated either, and what little is animated doesn't seem animated very well. And how it is now, I apologize, but I don't think it meets the standard of the collab anymore, so I'm going to have to reject it. And I do like the reference to AVA, and I do like the concept, but I feel it could have been executed better, and so I'm going to have to reject it. Next up, we have an entry from Lux. What? Oh, yes, no, sorry. This is the entry Lux submitted initially before remastering it later. He said he didn't want this in the collab anymore, so I marked it low priority. That was just that I remembered to remove it. Okay. Um, Lastly, we have entry from Scotterboy. No, wait, we have two more. Okay, there's the Scotterboy entry, which now look, Scotterboy, if you're watching this, I don't know. But at first, I liked this because you submitted three entries, out of which this was the best one. Looking back, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it because it's just it is simply okay. That's all I can really say. It is simply an okay entry. It's not spectacular, and I don't like it that much anymore because of these weird moments where the sound effects cut and it fades in and fades out, and he climbs up vertically after walking diagonally up the stairs. There's not much composition to it. I'm very tired. Sorry if my critiques are less detailed than usual, but it's just okay. Let me try to be detailed. It's very visibly empty. It feels like to warrant such action, you need a scene for the action, but here it doesn't feel like that. Okay. Next up, we have an entry from Shark 2. This one is also low priority, as all these are. The fight is very weightless. I might just not keep it, is the thing. Yeah. That's all I can say. Next, we have an entry from some other stranger. And yeah, this one is just this one is nice. I might keep it, but again, this is one of the situations where I won't try to make space for it. If I find space for it, I'll keep it, but if I don't, I'll leave it. Okay, that's all the low priority entries, and that is the end of all the stairs entry reviews. Congratulations, everyone. Um, yeah, that's all the entries. How do you guys feel about this stream? We've done all the we've done all the entries. Oh my gosh, my voice is so tired. We've covered everything. I'm so happy we're finally done with all the reviews and I can get to compiling properly. I'm so excited. I'm so glad for those of you who stuck around till the end. And I'm so happy with how big this collab has gotten. I cannot believe we have gotten over 100 entries on this collab, I think. Let me double check real quick just to be sure. But let's see. 24 plus. And don't go yet. I have a surprise for you guys. Oh my gosh, we're getting real close. Let's see. Hold on, guys. One sec. 24 plus. There you have it, 166 entries. You guys are amazing. 166. Wow. 166 entries is incredible. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. I'm actually shocked. Okay. Okay. Now then, for the big surprise, the thing I was waiting for the end to reveal. I'm going to be hosting a tiny little thumbnail collaboration since I figured this is a collab. It would be kind of weird if I had one person do the thumbnails. So instead of selecting people to do the thumbnails by competition, I'm going to make a big magma board on which everyone can contribute a part to the thumbnail, and then we can display it at the end of the collab in full HD. And I thought that would be really cute. A little like tribute for you guys who put in so much effort to make this collab possible. All right. Yeah. That's all I have to say. That's a surprise. You're free to go now. You can go home. Stairs is over. Yeah. Thank you everyone for attending. Uh yeah, I'll announce it when it opens, but I hope you all are excited for that. I'm glad today's stream went so much better than the previous one. Hey, what do you know? It was indeed an hour and a half like I expected. Um so bye bye guys. Good night. Well, good night, good morning, depends on where you are. For me it's morning.